We welcome you on this Friday, October 11, 2019, to our Hoffman Estates Cable TV Sports Network Game of the Week. I'm Ryan Fahey with you here at Conant High School, the home of the Cougars. It's the unbeaten Cougars here on senior night as they come in with a record of 6 wins, no losses on the season, and a conference record in the Mid-Suburban League West Division of 2-0, hosting the Saxons of Schaumburg High School, who come in with a record of 2-4, 0-2 in Mid-Suburban League West Division play. Now, for the visiting Saxons coming in, we just saw them a week ago over at Hoffman Estates. It was a closer battle towards the end of the contest. Unfortunately, though, for the Saxons, they came up short in that one, losing as the road team 21-16. The big thing for Hoffman Estates in that one was their sophomore wide receiver in Jashawn Johnson. In that contest, 7 catches, 151 yards to go along with 2 touchdowns in the win for Hoffman Estates over Schaumburg a week ago. And the big thing for Schaumburg coming into action today is can they get their offense flowing again, which is led by their junior quarterback and Luke Jesse. He's going to have to rely in the running game from Mike DeJoya and Shamari Brown, who also can play as a big threat wide receiver. Now for the Cougars, it's been a historic start to this 2019 campaign. This is the second time they are 6-0. You have to go back to the 1990 season, the last time this team started 6-0, in which back 29 years ago, they started and finished 11-1 back in 1990. And the big thing for this Conant team, running the football, and it's led by their junior running back, Malik the Freak Frederick. They came out on the road with a big win at Barrington over the Broncos by the score of 21-14. And for Malik Frederick, he already has over 1,000 yards rushing on the season this year. So today, expect a battle of the running game. Who comes out on top in that department, Saxons or the Cougars? We'll find out on senior night as kickoff and a whole lot more is coming your way here on HETV.
Give it up for your Conant Cougars! On behalf of the administration, faculty, and students of Conant High School, we welcome you to Charlie O'Fight Stadium, home of the Conant Cougars. As guests to tonight's MSL game, Schaumburg High School enters the game 2-4, and Conant High School at 6-0. Are playing this game through an agreement entered into by both schools.
As we get set for kickoff, the Saxons will kick this away from their own 40-yard line, going left to right in the row to white jerseys, maroon trim and numbers with those maroon helmets and gold pants, and the maroon trim on those pants. And the Cougars in their home navy blues with the white helmets and a white pants, and some wearing white sleeves, others being a little brave on this chilly night here at Conant High School, feeling a lot more like fall. You saw me in the open, bundled up, usually I've been in the polos, but not this time of the year. As the unbeaten Cougars look to stay unbeaten while the Saxons looking to play spoiler here on senior night. And away we go from Conant High School. It'll be Frederick to take this one from just inside his own 5-yard line, as Frederick up the middle looking for some more blockers, has a decent return out of it as he takes it to his own 30-yard line, and that's where this heavy run offense will begin for the Cougars. As mentioned, they're 6-0 coming into play tonight. 2-0 in conference play. Those conference wins have come against both opponents that have been on the road, mind you. Hoffman Estates a couple of weeks ago, and last week at Barrington, a close 21-14 victory over the Broncos last week at Barrington. Not easy to go into Bronco country and get a victory out in Barrington. As Dugo under center, Giuseppe Dugo, the quarterback, leaves it off for Frederick, and not surprising he gets the first carry for a few.
Blake Frederick on the carry, stopped by Blake Buchanan.
As Buchanan made the tackle there for the Saxons. Brings up second down. One of the things Schaumburg looking to improve upon is not let the big plays get to them, as Hoffman Estates offensively. We saw this Saxons team a week ago at Hoffman Estates. And for the most part, despite it only being a 5-point score, it felt like a lot more than 5 points. If you saw how Hoffman Estates was kind of moving the offense at will, and their tempo of the game really kind of controlled it for most of the evening. It's on second down. It'll be Dugo on the option. Ball is fumbled for a moment, as falling down on top of that one for the Cougars was Jeremy Carroll, the junior.
Pitches to Jeremy Carroll.
So Carroll, the junior, falls on top of it. Lost about 5 on the play. It makes it 3rd down and long, 3rd and 12, as it puts him now back to the 28-yard line, or rather 29. As Giuseppe Dugo, the sophomore quarterback, back in the huddle for Conant. 8 men in the box here for Schaumburg as they try to make the stop here on this 3rd and long. And on the toss, it's to Carroll again on the far side, looking to get the edge. Gets a decent run out of it, but Schaumburg makes the stop short of the 40-yard line, and that will bring up 4th down for Conant, and then we'll send out the punting unit.
Carroll on the run brings up 4th and 5 for the Cougars.
So punt coming for Conant. Matt Patello is back deep, or I should say kicking this one away for Conant. And to return this for Schaumburg,
Matt Patello to punt for the Cougars.
It'll be Ricky Medina. Bit of a high snap as Patello will get this one away. Wind blowing from left to right in the point of view of Conant on that punt. As a return there, ball was fumbled, and it's going to be still Schaumburg ball.
Fumble on the play, recovered by the Saxons.
So a little bit of a scare there for Schaumburg. And that is where junior quarterback Luke Jesse and the Saxons will take over on their own 39. Fought their way back late in the contest against Hoffman Estates, having a late score. Unable to recover an onside kick with 1:10 to go in the 4th last to put the icing on the cake for a Hoffman Estates victory and Schaumburg's 3rd loss in a row. On the handoff from Luke Jesse, that's Mike DeGioia, as he gains a few on 1st down.
Luke Jesse, the quarterback for the Saxons. Handoff is to Mike DeGioia. Get a 4 on the play.
So DeGioia gets a 4-yard gain on 1st down to bring it 2nd and 6. Ball at the 43. So we approach 9 minutes to go here in our opening quarter. No score between the Saxons and the Cougars. We'll get you some scores from around the area as we go along with our broadcast as well, as Shamari Brown will get the handoff this time up to the left side. As he tumbles towards midfield, we'll have to see where they spot it. Initial looks like it's going to be 3rd down and about a yard, as the ball is at the 48.
3rd and 1 for the Saxons.
So 3rd down conversion forthcoming here for Schaumburg. Third down and 1 as Jesse will give it off on the option here, and stumbling forward, it looked like that was DeGioia getting a yard, which would be enough for a 1st down, and that's what the officials will signal. So Schaumburg converts the first 3rd down they face tonight, as that puts them right at the 50.
Mike DeGioia on the run. Gain of 1, good enough for a Saxon 1st down.
So a new set of downs for Schaumburg. Isaiah Garcia lines up as the lone receiver to the right, near side of your screen. As we now have under 8 minutes to go here in our opening quarter, DeGioia on the carry again up the middle into Conant territory, and he'll fall to the 45-yard line. A slew of Cougars bringing him down.
DeGioia on the carry, stopped by Mason Reiger.
Mason Reiger and Aaron Dror in on the stop off the 5-yard run from DeGioia. 2nd and 5 here for Schaumburg at the Conant 45. Play call comes in from the sidelines as Jesse now will hand this one off yet again. All running plays so far as DeGioia will get forward to the 42-yard line to make it 3rd down and a couple to go.
DeGioia on the carry, stopped by Mason Reiger.
Reiger with another tackle. Brings up 3rd and 2. And we'll see if Schaumburg goes to number 25 in white again. Mike DeGioia, the 5'9" junior running back for Schaumburg. A couple of juniors leading the running game for the most part this season. Talked about Malik the Freak Frederick. Has over 1,000 yards on the season. Mike DeGioia with his share of yardage gained on the run as well this year too. As on this 3rd and short, it'll be Brown to take it. The big guy going forward and making a big hole for himself down the sidelines, and the Saxons strike first 42 yards. Saxons 6-0.
Shamari Brown on the carry into the
So
end zone for a Saxon
answer
touchdown.
by the visitors by Shamari Brown on the 42-yard run. And the Conant crowd silenced here early. Point after coming. Roberto Sanchez, the junior kicker, with the left foot is up, and it is good.
Extra point by Roberto Sanchez.
All runs so far offensively from both sides, and the biggest run so far comes from the visiting Saxons in a 42-yard touchdown run from Shamari Brown. And the Saxons lead 7-0 with 6:23 to go here in our first quarter of action. So and most of the runs so far have come from Mike DeGioia for Schaumburg. We've seen Brown, that was the second third down conversion that was converted for the Saxons, and both times there for Schaumburg, they had gone to their 6'3" wideout slash running back who we've seen all season in Shamari Brown. And he gets the big escape there for the opening score of our contest, as back deep for Conant once again will be Frederick and Jack Homanak. Sanchez will get ready to kick this one away. Wind blowing out of the west here tonight. Wind blowing right to left from the point of view of Sanchez for kicking this. It is a chilly night here at Conant High School, as we're in the heart of the high school football season, as Frederick will let that one bounce into the end zone, and it'll be a touchback.
Roberto Sanchez with the touchback. Cougars will take
So
over.
Conant comes back out there, and Giuseppe Dugo, the sophomore, will trot on out to the field. They were stalled on a 3-and-out on their opening drive. Partly cloudy skies here tonight. Rained quite a bit earlier in the area today, but no weather to affect us in that department tonight, as Frederick breaking a few holes of his own, and there he goes, Malik Frederick, all alone, 80 yards, Conant with a quick strike back.
Touchdown run by Malik Frederick.
What a response, and there is a flag back at the Schaumburg 23-yard line. Officials will discuss it. Looks like the touchdown's still going to stand. It may be a unsportsmanlike. We'll have to look. Maybe a personal foul on Schaumburg, and I think it may be enforced on the kickoff. And that's what it appears it'll be. So the extra point now coming for Conant would be the sophomore kicker, Gracie Rodriguez. Nice feature on her in the Daily Herald a couple weeks back as well. Her journey from being a soccer star to being on this field for a different sport and going from soccer to football. And how she's been well embraced by this team and the staff and all around Conant as well, getting a tryout opportunity a year ago.
Gracie Rodriguez with the
and has
extra
become
point.
a rather go-to clutch kicker for the Cougars so far in her career. As the point after is up, and Gracie Rodriguez ties it at 7.
And the Cougars tied up 7-7.
So a quick strike, and it's been big touchdown runs from each side that have got us to a 7-7 score. First it was Shamari Brown's 42-yarder, and then on the very next offensive play for Conant, when they had the first opportunity to get back on the field after the kickoff, 80 yards to the house for Malik Frederick, puts us at a 7-7 score with 6:08 to go here in our first quarter. So we'll see if Schaumburg will have an answer right back. As because of that personal foul penalty on Schaumburg after the touchdown, Conant is going to kick this one off at the Schaumburg 45. It was a 15-yard penalty on that personal foul. Didn't see what specifically occurred. Kind of more so focused on Malik Frederick, and mentioned he's got over 1,000 yards coming into the season today already through 6 games. Becoming one of the elite running backs, not just in the conference, but in the entire state of Illinois. As this kick is going to go just short of the goal line. It will be received by the Saxons on the far side of the field. And tumbling out of bounds was Mike DeGioia. As he tried to get towards the 20. It looks like they'll have him out at about the 15-yard line.
Out to the Saxon 15. It'll be 1st and 10.
So return of about 14 on the run there for DeGioia. So a new set of downs for Schaumburg as they come on the field after giving up the 80-yard run by Malik Frederick. Luke Jesse, the junior quarterback for Schaumburg. Brown and DeGioia both on the field. As the ball looks like it'll be officially set now. And wind, again, it's going to be a little bit of a factor. Wind was blowing away after the ball was spotted by the officials. So they got a new ball back in place, and now the play clock will begin. Jesse with 2 backs in the backfield will leave this one off for DeGioia, who gets taken down for a gain of a couple to bring up 2nd down. Seems like the early initiative so far from Schaumburg has been give it to DeGioia on the first few downs and then let Brown do the rest. Anthony Comperta now lined up as the lone receiver to the near side. As on 2nd down, it'll be Brown this time with the run. Shamari Brown for a 1st down and more. Brown down the sidelines to midfield.
Brown and a carry, knocked out of bounds by Jeremy Betancourt.
No answer really for Shamari Brown as he gets the 1st down and a whole lot more, and the Saxons move to midfield for a new set of downs. It looks like a timeout has been called by Conant. They want to kind of hit the brakes and hit the refresh button. 5:23 to go here in our opening quarter, still tied at 7. And Shamari Brown trying to outshine Malik Frederick here on Frederick's home turf at Conant High School. As the ball is officially now spotted back at the Schaumburg 45, as that's where they're going to say where Brown went out of bounds after the big run. First time out there for Conant, they'll have 2 remaining. Schaumburg still has all 3 of theirs. Towards the end of the quarter, we'll get you some updated scores as a lot of games just kicking off around the Chicagoland area on this week 7 of the season. Only a few weeks to go before we begin playoffs. How crazy that this regular season is flying by as it is. So 1st down and 10 off the timeout. 2 backs for Luke Jesse as it's going to go to Brown, who gets ahead to the 50 for 2nd down. Gain of 5 on the play.
Murray Brown on the carries.
That was Aaron Dror on the tackle. He's made a couple stops so far defensively tonight for Conant. As we approach 5 minutes to go here in our first quarter. 7-7 our score.
For the Saxons.
2nd and 5. They keep feeding Brown, and this time Conant stuffs him for a loss. Conant was ready, looking for number 1 in the white, as it's a loss of 3 to make it 3rd down and 8.
Stopped by Derek Lewandowski.
So they'll spot him at the 48, so 3rd and 7. Lewandowski on the initial hit there for the Cougars for that tackle for loss.
3rd and 7 for the Saxons.
3rd down and 7, a receiver split to each side for Schaumburg. Anthony Comperta on the top of your screen, and down below is Isaiah Garcia. Brown and DeJoy in the backfield with Jesse, as Jesse's going to keep this himself for the first down. Luke Jesse with his first run of the night. And a flag comes late after the play. Looks like this may have been an extracurricular after the fact. Flag at the Conant 40 where it was thrown. Looks like the initial signal is going to go against Conant, and it is going to be against Conant. Unnecessary roughness is the call. So that'll advance the Saxons more into Conant territory. So the ball now over at the Conant 40. Officials still conversing about it. And this also looks like, I think, a sideline warning. So it looks like an offsetting personal foul went on both sides. So the first down is still going to go. And now, again, the flags came after the play. And the officials right there at the line saying, all right, we're not having any more of this. And they're calling both 11 members of each team out there saying, all right, that's enough. We don't want any more of this. We're taking control. And credit to the officials early on here. 4:12 to go in the first. They don't want this to really get out of hand. Schaumburg sideline wanted an explanation too. Either way, the unnecessary stuff after plays. Officials trying to put a stop to it. As on first down, DeJoy ripped in the backfield from behind, and a flag coming out again. As bringing them down as Mason Reiger, they may get a face mask on it. We'll see. That's the initial look.
Flag on the play.
Laundry early, and it is going to be a face mask on Conant. So flags aplenty here early on in our first quarter. And you understand the perspective from the officials that you don't want this to get out of hand, especially with two crosstown rivals. Not often do you see officials pull both 11 into a huddle saying, all right, better quit it or else. As now Brown on the first down off the penalty, gets outside, sheds a tackler inside the 25. First down, Saxons.
Shamari Brown on the carry, stopped by Matt Patello, good enough for a Saxon.
So Patello with the tackle, and a new set of downs once again for Schaumburg. This is a different Schaumburg offense we've seen from a week ago when Brown had some good openings, but it didn't come till rather in the second half when he was able to get past that Hawks defense. As he's getting the action early and often here against Conant, the unbeaten Cougars. Saxons trying to shake off that three-game losing streak as Brown will be met right away, and he'll be met for a loss. Lewandowski on the tackle, one of the many seniors honored before the game here tonight on senior night.
Shamari Brown on the carry, taken out by Aaron Dror.
Aaron Dror also in on the stop.
No gain on the play, brings up 2nd and 10.
So a loss of a couple on that one as we approach 2.5 minutes to go here in the first. Receiver splits each side. Again, have yet to see an official pass in this game. Everything's been through the running game. Right on cue as Brown tumbles. He had the turf eat him up. I think he got back to the original line there to bring up third down.
Murray Brown on the carry via loss of 1.
Actually, they'll mark him for a loss. Brings up third down and long either way for the Saxons. Be a 3rd and 12 play here coming up on the Conant 26 as we now have 2 minutes to go. On third down, the first pass for Jesse is incomplete. He was looking for Brown, it appeared.
Jesse's pass intended for Shamari Brown.
Also in the area was Zach Human, number 15.
Jeremy Bettencourt on the cover.
Brings up 4th down, and the special teams will be out on the field for the Saxons. I have to wonder how they're going to approach this. Looks like Sanchez is going to go for the field goal here. So it would be about a 43-yard attempt. Wind blowing from right to left here for Schaumburg on their perspective of it. Bit of a risk here with this win. We'll see if it pays off. They trust the power of Sanchez. Schaumburg looking to take the lead back from 43 yards out, bit of a low snap. And a big kick is up, and it is through the uprights and good. An impressive kick with the wind swirling by Roberto Sanchez, the junior, and it's 10-7 Schaumburg. .147 to go here in our first quarter of action, and a highlight-filled first quarter of action. Shamari Brown and Malik Frederick have been the stars shining so far through nearly a full quarter of play, as Frederick will go back out there to perhaps return this kick along with Jack Homanak. So Sanchez now will get ready to boot this one away from his own 40. So Sanchez gets set with the left foot of his after just nailing a 43-yard field goal with the wind swirling. And he boots this one away. Frederick will let this one bounce in the end zone, and Conant will take over at their 20.
Kicked into the end zone for a touchback. Cougars take over.
And the last time Malik Frederick let a kickoff go into the end zone, the very next play he ran it for 80 yards. So Conant perhaps looking for a little deja vu off the last drive. Trailing here 10-7 with a minute 47 to go in our opening quarter. Wind chill at about the upper 30s, low 20s here on this Friday night. As Giuseppe Lugo under center, as he will give this one on the option to Carroll, or rather getting this run in, tumbling towards the first down marker for Conant is Jack Homanak.
Dugo's pitch to Jack Homanak.
As that'll be close to a first down. He's going to be short of it, but a good run nevertheless. It was a gain of 9 for 2nd and 1. That was Homanak's first run of the night. We've seen Jeremy Carroll get a couple of touches as well, along with Malik Frederick handling the heavy load of the running game. 2nd and 1 with a man in motion as Frederick sheds a couple tacklers, trying to fall forward to the 30. And it'll depend on the spot, but it looks like he got it, and he does.
Gain of 1 on the play, good enough for a Cougar first down.
So a first down for Conant. He got the necessary yardage as we now have under a minute to go here in the first quarter. New set of downs for the Cougars, as I believe keeping this one was Dugo. A lot of traffic in front there, hard to see. Either way, a short run there makes it a gain of a couple. It was Dugo on the run. So my eyes did not deceive me. It was a 2-yard gain. Looks like we'll have one more play before this first quarter comes to an end. Game clock beating the play clock as we have 15 seconds to go by 3 seconds. Dugo as the final play of this first quarter. Dugo with another keep, gets the first down to the 35. And a little late shove there. We've seen a little bit of that throughout this first quarter of play. No call there. The Conant stands trying to let that be known, along with the coaching staff. Ryan Stortz and them trying to let the officials know of it. And with the play going out of bounds, clock stops with 4.2 seconds on it. And now they'll wind it as the chains have gotten set. And that'll do it for our first quarter of action as Conant trying to maybe do a little shuffle there, as that is 1 quarter in the books.
With the score, Schaumburg 10.
As the Saxons have a lead going into the second quarter by the score of 10-7.
If you're hungry, take a stop over to the Cougar Grill where you can get a...
Let's take a look at some scores around the area on this Friday night. At Lyons Township, Glenbard West has the road lead, 6-0. That one finishing up in the first quarter over there. An MSL East action, Buffalo Grove at home trailing to Hersey 7-0. Over in the western suburbs, Matea Valley trails to Nequa Valley in the second quarter 8-6. An MSL East action, Prospect at home getting rolled over by Rolling Meadows early on, 21-0. That one's still in the first quarter over there. Mentioned the other story in the IHSA football land, St. Joseph's. They have been plagued with so many injuries, and a bad flu bug went through the football team, and they canceled the game tonight over at St. Joseph. They were hosting the Montini Broncos, and the Broncos will get the 2-0 cancellation victory, and our thoughts are with St. Joseph and their football crew as they look to try to rebuild off of that. Other scores around the area were Waubonsie Valley at home losing to Naperville Central 7-0. That one in the second quarter. And Immaculate Conception Catholic Prep at home leading St. Edward in the first quarter 14-0. So as we now begin the second quarter, Conant going left to right on your screen offensively. Schaumburg will be going left to right. As on this first down, Frederick will get the carry to begin the second quarter, and he gets minimal gain out of it. That'll bring up second down.
Blake Frederick on the carry. No gain on the play, brings up 2nd and 10.
So they'll mark it as officially no gain. Although the scoreboard does say 2nd and 9. Either way, not much on it by Frederick. As Schaumburg looks to stuff the box again on this second down. Ball at the 46. Dugo on the pitch to the right side and getting a hole into Schaumburg territory. And getting taken out of bounds for Conant is Jack Homanack. As everybody queued in on 27 in blue, but they forgot about 25 in Jack Homanack. First down, Cougars. Ball at the Schaumburg 37. Bunched here at the line for the Cougars as they keep by Dugo. Tries to shoulder his way through a defender. Doesn't work in the end. As Anthony Hernandez also looked like he got a hand on the stop there to Dugo. Good run there by Dugo. Brings up a manageable second down. It was a gain of about 6 on the run.
2nd and 4 for the Cougars.
We've only seen one official pass attempt here tonight. That was an incompletion from Luke Jesse to Shamari Brown. Otherwise, it's been run, run, and run some more. 2nd and 4 from the 31. Frederick on the keep, and he may have lost a yard. And Schaumburg is saying it was a fumble, and we'll see the review. It looks like it's going to be Saxons football, and it is. Getting the ball, it looked like at the end there was Jeremy Serio. Serio got the recovery. Didn't see the ball actually come out of the hands of Frederick, but it came out in the scrum there as everybody tried to get the tackle on Frederick. So a big break for Schaumburg as they'll take over on their own 32. So the visiting Saxons keeping this Conant crowd rather silenced here for a good part of this first half because of their running game, and now they're doing it on defense. 2 wide receivers to the near side of your screen. As Brown and DeGioia man the backfield. And it'll be Brown on the handoff. Flag flies in from behind the play.
Shamari Brown on the carry, stopped by Mark.
As Brown got a couple on that one,
Flag
but
on the
looks
play.
like this flag may be bringing this one back. It looks like it'll be a holding call against the Saxons, so that's going to back them up. So negate the run there from Shamari Brown.
Holding called against the Saxons.
So that'll back the Saxons up into their own territory a little more. Conant will accept the penalty, make it 1st and 20 off the 10-yard holding call. Approaching 9.5 to go here in the first half. 10-7 Schaumburg. DeGioia and Brown at the hips of Jesse, who takes the low snap, and he'll keep it himself. Not sure if that was the original play there, but because of the low snap, he got maybe a yard on the play.
Jesse on the keeper, tackled by a Cougar Pride.
Conant got another home game coming up here against Frem
Brings up 2nd and 19.
next week in Week 8 action before they end the regular season at Palatine. And the game against Frem, that's going to be another good one, as the Cougars looking to stay unbeaten. They've clinched a playoff berth with the 6 wins, but it becomes a matter of, can you win the conference and host early in the playoffs? As on 2nd and 19, it's Brown who's fighting for every yard he can, and the big pile will stop him just before the 30, and they'll bring up 3rd down.
Shamari Brown on the carry, stopped by Jeremy Betancourt.
Betancourt with the tackle. Still 3rd down and long for Schaumburg. And they have this drive via the fumble recovery by the Saxons' Jeremy Serio. A fumble that not often does Malik Frederick cough with the ball, and it happened there. 3rd down and 13. Need to get to the 42 to convert this, as they're on their own 29. Jesse with the fake, gonna run it himself, and he gets to the 39. He's not gonna be enough for the 1st down, but a good run there from Jesse.
Jesse with the keeper, stopped on the play.
We'll see what Schaumburg wants to do. Offense looking like they're gonna stay out there.
10 brings up 4th and 3 for the Saxons.
4th and 3, offense staying out. Although we've seen this play a couple of times. DeGioia, and there's the play right there where DeGioia takes the snap at the quarterback spot and will boot it away, kind of on a little bit of a fake style. That one almost didn't even get off his foot, as the Saxons let this one roll into Conant territory at the Cougar 16-yard line.
DeGioia on the punt. Cougars will take over 1st and 10.
So DeGioia will
16.
have that one get settled at the 16, and the Cougars now back out there. So the Cougars defense stands tall after the offense gave up a turnover off the fumble by Frederick. So Conant here down by 3 with 7:19 to go here in the first half. Bunched up formation again, as Dugo is going to keep this on the option, and he'll get taken down from behind. That was Blake Buchanan on the tackle. Gain of a yard on the play to make it 2nd down. The jackets, hoodies, gloves, and hats are out in full force tonight here in the stands, along with the many blankets and any other ways to stay warm on this chilly night here at Conant High School. Man in motion as Dugo's going to keep this himself. Cuts back up the middle. He hit off his own blocker. Got the 1st down as he's stopped at the 30.
Stopped on the play by Anthony Hernandez.
Hernandez with the stop there.
Good enough for a
Although really the stop belongs to a Conant blocker, as Dugo could have perhaps tried to get into the breakaway field to make that a bigger play. First down and 10 at the 30 as we approach 6 minutes to go. Frederick will get the run, and he is stopped for minimal gain. Brings up second down and 9.
Frederick on the carry, stopped on the play by Edvin Karacic. Gain of 2 brings up
give him an extra yard there to make it 2nd and 8.
For the Cougars.
Rather a fast first half here we've had, and not to try to jinx anything, obviously, in terms of timing and flow of this game, but not many major delays and stoppage for a lot of things here tonight, other than the usual flag or two, but first half rather cruising along. As Dugo on the option spins away from a tackler and makes it a much more manageable third down because of it.
Dugo on the keeper, tackled by Anthony Hernandez.
Hernandez again with the stop.
Bring
A
up
couple
3rd and
stops
3
now he's made
for the
defensively
Cougars.
on this drive for Schaumburg. As it'll bring up 3rd down and 4. As Dugo comes back off the sideline to get the play call as we have 5 minutes to go. Third down and 3 as Frederick is going to be just short, it appears. It'll depend on where they spot it. The near official has him for a first down. The one on the far side there did not look like he had the initial spot on it. As they saw the extra effort there from Frederick lunging forward to the 40. So the Cougars will get a new set of downs. So a new set of downs at the 40. Man in motion, Frederick up the middle as he falls ahead of the 45, and a good tough run again from Malik Frederick.
Malik Frederick on
Gain
the
of
carry,
7.
stopped by Aobami Orokoyo. Gain of 7 brings up 2nd and 3 for the Cougars.
So 7-yard run is mentioned from Frederick, who he eclipsed over 1,000 yards in the win last week against Barrington. I mentioned Schaumburg's been in the opposite way of things in the win-loss department. They've lost 3 in a row coming into action today. This dates back this losing streak to their non-conference portion. As Dugo, the first pass attempt of the day, is caught. One-on-one coverage. Bradley Spates with the catch. Or rather, Mark Twain Green, with the catch. One of the main targets is Green, who was on it on senior night festivities pregame as well. Receives the first pass of the game for Conant into Schaumburg territory. He had Refrano there in coverage for Schaumburg, but Green was just able to win the one-on-one. Back to the running game, it's Carroll up the middle. Carroll will go ahead to the 15.
Jeremy Carroll on the carry.
As we now approach 3 minutes to go, the Conant offense showing life again.
For the Cougars.
Before that pass attempt, Giuseppe Dugo, the sophomore, has only thrown, before that one, 16 attempts passing-wise on the season combined. Not just from one game, only 16 passes thrown at all this season. Before that one to Mark Twain Green. And that was over a 6-game stretch. 2nd and 3. Frederick gets upended. And we'll see where they spot it.
On the carry, stopped by
Looks like he's going to be just short for 3rd down. Because we now have 2.5 to go in the half.
3rd and 2.
Gracie Rodriguez on the sidelines here getting ready in case Schaumburg gets a stop. As we approach 2 minutes to go, Frederick loses the football again, and it looks like Schaumburg's got it, and they do. Another mistake.
On the carry, fumble on the play, recovered by the Saxons.
As trying to extend it forward was
They'll
Frederick.
take over at their own 5.
And the Saxons with a big stop again will begin this at their own 5 with 2 minutes to go here in the second quarter. That's twice now Frederick has fumbled. A rare sight we're seeing from Malik the Freak. You know he's going to remember more of the fumbles than the 80-yard touchdown run he had back in the first. As now the Saxons with an opportunity here to try to drive the field. 2 minutes to go. They still got all 3 of their timeouts. Jesse standing inside his own end zone here. As on first down, it'll be DeGioia on the run. Gets a few. Wasn't officially tackled down. Mark Twain Green with the hit to stop his momentum.
He is stopped on the play by Matt Patello and Mark Twain Green. Gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8.
Conant band getting ready to perform here at halftime. Mentioned Green with the stop. Now he goes out to check on the one receiver out for Schaumburg, that being Comperta. As Schaumburg taking their time here with 10 seconds on the play clock. 2nd and 8. As this one up the middle, finding a hole is DeGioia for a whole lot more. DeGioia into the second level, into Cougars territory, and taken down at the Conant 25. What a run by the junior Mike DeGioia. First down, Saxons. Clock will stop to set the chains. 58 seconds to go in the first half. The big run plays have been massively effective into our ball game tonight. A receiver out to each side. Schaumburg with life. Brown getting stopped short before the 30, and a timeout's been called.
By Mason Reiger.
Reiger with the tackle for the Cougars.
Gain of 4 on the play brings up 2nd and 6.
So a 4-yard run there from Brown. Timeout called by Schaumburg as mentioned. Now they have 2 remaining. And 10-7 our score.
Timeout called by the
Just to give a reset here. The first score came from Shamari Brown in a 42-yard touchdown run. And on the very first offensive play for Conant to try to respond, they did so with an 80-yard run from Malik Frederick to tie it at 7. And then with the wind swirling towards the tail end of the first quarter, Roberto Sanchez with a very impressive 43-yard field goal. And that's how we're at a 10-7 Schaumburg lead with 45 seconds to play here in the first half. On the handoff, DeGioia again, and he falls to the 20, just ahead of it, and clock will still run, and now it won't. And a timeout called, and it looks like the Saxons rather take their second timeout, and they do. Lewandowski with the stop on DeGioia. So second timeout called by Schaumburg. They've got 1 remaining. 34.4 seconds left on the clock. I have to wonder if this third down run will go to Shamari Brown. We've seen that a few times here when DeGioia's gotten the first and second down runs, and then all of a sudden it's been Shamari Brown who gets called upon to make the third down conversion, and more often than not, he has converted. The Conant defense will come back out there. Saxons break out of their huddle. Ball at the 19. Red zone territory for this Schaumburg offense. Two backs in the backfield. Snap is bobbled. Jesse just falls on top of it. A big break for Conant.
Fumble on the play required.
As it's 4th down and long. Looks like that it would take the Saxons out of field goal range, but with the leg of Sanchez, you don't know. Final 10 seconds are winding. It looks like Schaumburg will take this down to the final few. So that way they'll have the final play of the half, and that's what they're going to do. So the snap, after the bobbled snap, it brings them all the way back to the 30. And Roberto Sanchez is getting ready. Now the wind will be going from his left to right, assuming he comes out there to kick this for a 47-yard field goal. And this could be a big momentum booster for Schaumburg going into the locker room. If they can get it successful to go up by 6 on the road, heading into halftime. Sanchez, you see there, still warming up, waiting for the call in case he does get called upon. We've seen him make him from 43 in the first quarter when the wind was going right to left. And it doesn't look like he's going to be getting the call. He's going to stay on the sideline. Offense is going to trot back out there. So we'll see how Schaumburg wants to play this. Do they go for the Hail Mary, or do they just look to take it into the half? And one of the officials thought it was going to be a field goal attempt. It was one of the line judges. He has to go back now to his spot. As of the final few seconds, Jesse going to air it towards the end zone for Brown. It'll be intercepted. And that is how the first half comes to an end. So Sanchez doesn't get called upon for the field goal attempt. Instead, it's a interception to end the first half. So that will do it for our first half of play. An impressive start by the Saxons on the road as they go to the locker room by the score of 10-7 in the lead over the unbeaten Conant Cougars. We'll take our halftime break. We'll get you set for second half action and more here on HETV and our game of the week.
Varsity senior Shirelles, Caitlin Bradley, Juliana Fire-Ryson, Serena Graff, Daria Komesa, and Elisa Takahashi. Let's hear it for your senior varsity Shirelles as they take their field for their final halftime football performance. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the Shirelles! Another loud Cougar roar for your varsity Sherrills.
For our second half of action, 10-7 is our score on this chilly night here at Conant High School, home of the unbeaten Cougars. Saxons have the 10-7 lead. Ryan Fahey with you here for our Hoffman Estates Cable TV Sports Network Game of the Week. As it'll be the Cougars kicking right to left to begin this second half of action. Shamari Brown, Mike DeJoya back deep.
It's a kickoff for the Cougars.
As the 12 minutes are put on the clock, away we go for this third quarter of action. Brown will receive it from the 30. Brown, who had a big touchdown run in the first quarter, will take this one ahead towards the 32-yard line.
He is taken out by Kobe Gilbert.
As Gilberts makes the tackle, that's where the Saxons will take over. A very impressive first half by the Saxons, specifically defensively. They forced Malik Frederick to fumble the ball twice. It led to one touchdown, as they were able to capitalize off one of those turnovers. And as Luke Jesse, the junior, the quarterback, with his two backs in the backfield, as Brown will get the run here. And he gets outside ahead of the 35 for second down.
Get a 6 on the play, brings up 2nd and 4 for the Saxons.
So a gain of 6 on the run there by Brown, who's been a big play runner for the latter part of this season. And on 2nd and 4 here at their own 38, Brown will get it again. And he gets a couple on that one. As that'll make this one a short third down coming up.
Gain of 2 on the play, brings up 3rd and 2.
So third down and 2. Then you get to the 42 to convert. Two wide receivers to the right side. None to the far side. As two backs in the backfield. Jesse's going to keep this himself, and he's going to meet a Conant wall, and it'll depend on the spot. I don't think he got it, but we'll see how they spot it.
Jesse on the keeper, stopped by Dom Maiorello.
They got him at the 42. They may call for the chains here. Have to see. So that is what they are going to do. Looks to be right close to it.
We will have a measurement on the field. Chain gang tonight. Kevin Maggi, Dave Jonan, Zen Kolakowski.
See where the chains are going to be in relation to where they have the spot. And it's right there. You really can't get any closer than that. Really cannot get much closer as they still talk about it, and it's going to be first down. That may be by a hair length. It's a first down.
First down.
There was a bit of a discussion after the chains were set. Usually you can tell right away and determine how much the ball is short by, but that one couldn't get as closer as it could have gotten, really, to make a longer discussion occur. As on this first down, Jesse's going to keep this himself to the far side as he gains maybe a few. It's stopped there by Conant, and a late flag comes in after the play. And this came away, it looked like, from the run by Jesse. As for Conant, you had Ronald Williams kind of mixed up there, it appeared, with
There is a
Shamari
flag
Brown
on
on
the
the
play.
sideline after the play had ended. Remember, we saw the officials kind of get in the way in the department of not letting the roughhousing and extracurriculars be the discussion of the game. And offsetting personal fouls go against both squads there.
Unsportsmanlike conduct called on both sides. Penalties will offset.
So each penalty is going to offset. The Chains still have it as first down. So we'll see how this is going to be determined. Looks like it will be second down. No gain on that run by Jesse. Now Brian Stortz wants an explanation, the head coach of Conant. As now he's going to get it from the head official, as the head official's telling him that's enough. So now the clock will continue to wind again, because again they stopped it because of the flag. So no gain there, 2nd and 10 after all that. As Jesse will give this one to DeGioia, who is stopped short of the 45, and that'll bring up 3rd down.
Joey on the run, stopped by Derek Lewandowski. Unit 2 on the play, brings up 3rd and 8.
So a couple yards on the gain there by DeGioia, 3rd and 8 at the 44. They'll need to get to the Conant 48 to convert this. Two wide receivers to the near side of your screen, as Brown on this 3rd down is going to be stopped. Nothing found as the Conant defense looms large. Jake Serzin, the senior, with the stop, and it's 4th down for Schaumburg.
Stop by Jake Serzin on the play, brings up
As the
4th
main
and
offensive
9.
unit stays out there, but again, we
Saxons.
see this formation a few times where they'll do this, and it's DeGioia that takes the snap to punt it away. You've got Jeremy Betancourt back deep for Conant. As DeGioia does take the quick snap, and he'll boot this one away, and it'll take a favorable bounce, and it'll go out of bounds at the Conant 23-yard line.
Kick is out of bounds at the Cougar 23.
So now the
Conant
Cougars
take
will have
over
the ball for
3rd
the
and
first
10.
time in this second half, with 8:25 to go here in our 3rd quarter. 10-7 Saxons with the lead. A couple of the big stories so far of this game has been the big runs from Frederick and Brown, but also the 2 fumbles by Malik Frederick. Very uncharacteristic of the star junior running back for the unbeaten Cougars. Mentioned they come in 6-0 so far in 2019, having clinched a playoff spot last week in the 21-14 win at Barrington. While the Saxons are in the midst of a 3-game losing streak. As Frederick gets the run there for a couple.
Malik Frederick on the run, stopped by Michael Connolly.
The last win for the Saxons came
Brings up 2nd and 6.
back at home almost a month ago, 2 days before it in terms of the calendar days, when they were at home in a CSL battle against Niles North, the battle of the interconferences between the Central Suburban League and Mid-Suburban League, which was a 56-12 home victory for the Saxons back on September 13th. 2nd down, as Dugo's going to keep this one. Giuseppe Dugo falls on top of looked like his own lineman as he falls at the 30. And that brings
Dugo
up
on
3rd
the
down.
keeper, stopped by Takumi Fred.
So Dugo now to the sideline looking to get the play call here on this 3rd down, and manageable. 3rd down and 3.
For the Cougars.
On this 3rd down and 3, Man in motion, and they were looking like they wanted to get Schaumburg to also jump. 7 on the play clock. Frederick on the carry. He's got the first down ahead of the 35. So the play will mark him stopped at the 39. So he gets the first down and a couple extra on top of it. As we now have 6:45 to go here in the third. Man in motion, ball looked like it may have been juggled for a moment on the snap as Dugo lost a couple of yards to bring up second down.
Dugo on the keeper, stopped by Jose Rodriguez.
Looked like a little miscommunication on that offensive sequence there for the Cougars. Mason Reiger now checks into the game offensively for the Cougars as Mark Twain Green checks out. 6 minutes now to go in the third. 2nd and 11. It was a 1-yard loss. Dugo on the option's going to keep it. He's going to lose maybe another yard. The Schaumburg defense sniffing it out. Michael Connolly, the sophomore linebacker, getting the hit
on the play, brings up 3rd and 11
as it makes it 3rd down and 11. No gain on the play. Bunched formation again here for Conant. As Dugo will take the snap and go to Frederick, who isn't going to get much on it. Maybe a minus on the play. Either way, 4th down, Conant's got a punt. As this Conant offense has been, ever since that 80-yard touchdown run by Malik Frederick, they have been rather silent. And silent is the Conant crowd here too. So Conant punting away here after the loss of 1, and not a good punt there. It's a high one, and it's going to take a Saxons bounce back into Conant territory. And Conant will stop the bleeding there as the Saxons are going to take over inside the Cougars' 40-yard line. So a massive break again for Schaumburg, who lead by a field goal. Although it looks like we may have a flag, as the Conant sideline was cheering about something. Officials discussing this, and the defense is back out there for Schaumburg. All 4 officials convening here. I didn't see what may have occurred, as the Conant offense is back out on the field, so maybe it's Conant that gets the relief. It'd be much needed at that, and it's going to be a roughing the kicker. Or maybe, so the offense back out there.
The flag is running into the kicker, called on the Saxons. We have 5 yards.
So it's only going to be a running into the kicker, not roughing. Running only institutes a 5-yard penalty. If it was roughing, it would be a 15-yard penalty and then the first down, in which Conant keeps it. So now the punting unit's got to come back out there again, so they were under the impression it was roughing the kicker, not running. And the Conant crowd not happy. And Brian Stewart's having a conversation about it again with the head of the official, asking how is that not roughing, as it was, I think he was trying to make the case it went after the plant leg. And again, with the official talking to Brian Stewart's, you cannot officially start play. And Stewart's walking away with his arms crossed. As the Conant faithful have not been the biggest fans of the officiating from the really beginning. And now look at this. He just got a sideline warning, and they're going to throw a flag for it. Unbelievable. So a sideline warning to Conant. As again, there is that solid white line outside the main sideline that you see. Kind of usually hard to see from your regular vantage point when watching a broadcast. As now we get the punt back underway. As Schaumburg will have this one just ahead of their own 30 and to a minimal gain. As Conant trying to find its own way to stay fired up. As the tension has begun to rise
the Saxons will
here at Conant.
First and 10 at their own 32.
Cougars trying to fire up their own student section crowd after the last few sequences. We have just over 4 minutes to go here in the third. Trying to stay heated on this cold Friday night. Jesse in the offense for Schaumburg. 2 backs with the receiver to each side as Brown up the middle to the 35, and that's all he'll get.
Brown on the carry.
As that brings up second down.
Gain of 2 on the play brings up 2nd and 8.
It was a gain of 3 on the run there by Shamari Brown. As now this time it'll be DeJoya for a couple.
DeJoya on the carry, stopped by
Conant trying to stay fired up and keep their unbeaten season going. As they want to go to 7-0 on the season while Schaumburg's looking to snap a 3-game skid. As for Schaumburg's case, everything is must win, because if they were able to win out, they'd go to 5-4, and they'd have to hope on the playoff points tiebreaker to try to sneak into the playoffs. Conant's already clinched with the 6 wins. Now it's a matter of just trying to pad the resume for a better seed. As DeJoya to the 43, it appears he got it. And the chains will move, and it'll be first down for Schaumburg.
Gain of 4 brings up first down for the Saxons.
First down and 10 for the Saxons. And Schaumburg just trying to stay to their game plan and not go off script here, up by 3. Brown on this first down. Looks to get outside the numbers, and he is taken out of bounds, short of midfield.
Shamari Brown on the carry, driven out of bounds by Jeremy Betancourt.
Betancourt with the initial push out of bounds.
Again, 3 on the play brings
so
up
a 3-yard run there for Brown makes it 2nd and 7. The ball over at the 47-yard line as we approach 2.5 to go here in this third quarter. Threw out a receiver set to the top of your screen. Jesse, with the fake that way, is going to keep it himself as he tumbles ahead of the 50.
Jesse on the keeper, stopped by Aaron Dror.
Dror with another tackle tonight. He's been racking those up for Conant. And it looks like that is going to be a first down, and they'll move the chains.
And a 7 on the play. Enough for a Saxon first down.
So the chains once again move for this visiting Saxons. Play clock down to 7. 2 wide receivers to the left as Jesse gives this to DeJoya up the middle ahead of the 45. Gets a second push. They'll bring up a manageable second down as they get deeper into Conant territory.
Gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5 for the Saxons.
It was a gain of 5 on that run there from DeGioia. The theme of this game has been run the football and let the chips fall where they may. 2nd and 5. Jesse gonna drop back. He's got time, airs it downfield, jump ball, it is caught. First down Saxons. Anthony Comperto with the jump ball. We saw a similar play with Conant and Mark Twain Green. And now it's Schaumburg winning a jump ball offensively to get into red zone territory.
It'll be 1st and 10 from the Cougars 16.
Ball at the Conant 16. Schaumburg's offense cooking again. This time Brown on the run, gets minimal gain out of it. It appears we may have one more play before the third quarter comes to an end.
Joy on the carry, stopped by Don Maiorello. Gain of 1 on the play brings up 2nd and 9 for the Saxons.
So 2nd and 9 for Schaumburg. Brown only got 1 yard on the run. As the Saxons look like to try to play this to the final play of this third quarter, up by 3. As DeGioia will go up the middle for a couple. As that'll be 3rd down. And that will do it for our third quarter of action here at Conant High School. But what a...
And that is the end of the third quarter.
Third quarter we had penalties filled and tension rising.
Cougars 7.
As the Cougars have one final quarter to try to right the ship. Because if they don't, their unbeaten season will come to an abrupt halt at the hands of the Schaumburg Saxons. As now they'll switch sides of the field as we get set for this fourth quarter of play. They'll be going right to left, and then Schaumburg, or rather Conant, excuse me, will be going left to right. Schaumburg are now going to go right to left to continue this drive. Since we have a moment, we'll get you some more scores happening around the area. At halftime in Palatine, they are tied with Hoffman Estates, who we saw a week ago at 0. Oak Park River Forest at home, trailing to Downers Grove North 7-0. That one in the first quarter over there. It's a high-scoring one over in Wheeling as they trail Elk Grove. Grenadiers, who have not won the last few seasons a lot, 35-26, Grenadiers with the road lead. As the offenses get back set onto the field, that being for Schaumburg, that is. And at the half, Fremd leads Barrington 7-0. Another one to keep an eye on for this Mid-Suburban West Conference showdown as we begin the fourth quarter. 3rd down and long. Jesse to his right. He's got really nowhere to go. Picks up a few. And then I'll bring up 4th down. And that'll send out Roberto Sanchez. All the scoring has come from the first quarter, nothing in the middle quarters.
It'll be 4th and 6 for the Saxons.
So the ball will be at the, looks like the 12-yard line, so it sets up for a 29-yard field goal for Roberto Sanchez. Pass from 29 yards out, high snap, kick is up. Wind blowing left to right, and it is no good. Sanchez misses to the right as the wind was blowing in that direction as the Cougars escape by not allowing a point.
Correction, Cougars will take over at their own 20.
So the Cougars now will have it at their own 20 with 11:20 to go in regulation. It may come down to the final drive the way this game has gone. On this bunch formation, Carroll goes in motion, and Frederick goes nowhere with the run. Maybe a half yard on it.
Blake Frederick on the carry, stopped by Iobami Orokoyo.
Orokoyo on the tackle for the Saxons. Second and 10, Dugo kept it, and he got rolled back for maybe a gain of a yard. Brings up third down and long as
Dugo on the run.
Conant has not had any really good offensive momentum since the jump catch made by Mark Twain Green back in the third quarter.
No gain on the play.
As the offense after that really has kind of stalled, and it stalled before that reception as well. The first quarter was both offenses working at their finest, and after that it's really not been much since. Dugo on third and long, gonna air it down the field for Carroll. It's overthrown, and it's incomplete. Anthony Hernandez in coverage for Schaumburg. And that brings up fourth down, and Conant's got a punt again.
It'll bring up 4th and 9 for the Cougars.
So Matt Patella will boot this one away from inside his own 10. And a much better punt this time. Wind kind of stopping that one a little bit. It'll take a Cougars bounce. And they'll let this one roll to the Schaumburg 33-yard line.
Patella's punt out to the Saxons.
So the Saxons defense standing tall. Let's see if the offense can
46-yard punt.
Move downfield. They had the chance there to go up by a touchdown, but a missed 29-yard field goal from Sanchez. Still kept it at a 10-7 score as we have 9:40 to go here in regulation. So the ball set at the 33 for Schaumburg. Brown will get the run. He goes up the middle for a hole ahead of the 45 and a first down right away.
Murray Brown on the carry, stopped by Jeremy Betancourt. Good enough for a Saxon first down.
So a first down for the Saxons to the 46. So a run of 13 there on the play by Brown. Not much in terms of quick tempo here is Schaumburg. They just want to manage this as the best they can, chew off a little clock in the process. As Jesse takes this with the play clock down to 4. And the run there for Brown, he just tumbled forward for a loss there actually for about a yard to bring up second down.
Murray Brown on the carry, taken out of the backfield by Mason Reiger.
Reiger with the stop.
Second and 11.
So I'm checking an offense as well on the last drive offensively for Conant. That was towards the beginning of our fourth quarter. Three wide receivers now set to the near left side. No one out to the far right. DeJoy at the right hip of Jesse. On second and long, on the option, it's going to be Jesse to keep it up the middle past midfield, and now makes it a manageable third down for Schaumburg.
Jesse on the keeper, brought down by Kobe Gilbert.
Gilbert's with the stop. It was an 8-yard gain to make it 3rd and 3. They'll need to get to the Conant 44 to convert. So on this 3rd and 3, up the middle, it's Brown trying to fight for the first down. He falls forward. We'll see where forward progress stops him. He appears to be about a half-yard short. Fighting for every inch possible. They are going to mark it as 4th down and a yard.
Just short of the first down, brings up 4th and 1 for the Saxons.
So 4th and a yard to go as we now have 7 minutes to go here in the 4th. Can Schaumburg try to continue to move the chains deeper into Cougars territory?
Jesse on the carry, no gain on the play. One turnover on downs. Cougars will take over at their own 45, at 1st and 10. Jack Conant on the carry. Gain of 11 on the play. Good enough for a Cougar first down. Blake Frederick on the carry, tripped up on the play by Blake Buchanan. Gain of 4 on the play, brings up 2nd and 6. Conant on the carry, stopped on the play by Michael Connolly. Gain of 4 on the play, brings up 3rd and 2. Illegal shift called on the Cougars.
So we'll see what the flag is. Again, we apologize for the technical issues there as we have it as this 3rd and 7 as it's a false start against Conant.
The 5-yard penalty, repeat 3rd down.
So it's going to be a 3rd down and 7. As there's 4:45 on the clock and counting. Big miscue there on the Conant false start as Frederick's going to get the handoff up the middle. He's going to be short of the first down. As ahead of the 40-yard line is where he gets taken down.
They'll bring up 4th and 5 for the Cougars.
As it brings up 4th and 5. It was only a 2-yard gain on the run. Conant gonna stay out there. As we approach 4 minutes to go. Might this be the last chance for the Cougars? Fourth and 5 at the 39. On the reverse is gonna be met right away. It's the running back who's had the most touches tonight, Mike DeGioia, with the big defensive stance.
Stopped by DeGioia. And the Saxons will take over 1st and 10.
Another clutch defensive stance by this Schaumburg defense as the Conant crowd is silenced again. The Saxons looking to stop the perfect season. The Cougars have been on their best start to a season since 1990 when Conant won 11-1 29 years ago. DeGioia and Brown the backs with Luke Jesse, a receiver to each side. Can Schaumburg shut the door as DeGioia, who just made the defensive stop, gets a short gain to make it 2nd down.
DeGioia on the carry,
and immediately a timeout was called, and the Cougars call it.
Gain of 2 on the play brings up 2nd and 8 for the Saxons.
So Conant using their first timeout of the half. They've got 2 remaining. Schaumburg still has all 3 of theirs. See the clock there with 3:37 to go here in the 4th quarter. Ball will be spotted at the 46. And all the scoring so far in this game all came back in the 1st quarter. Rushing touchdowns from Shamari Brown, which was a 42-yard run, and an 80-yard run from Malik Frederick, and a 43-yard field goal from Roberto Sanchez have been the difference so far. So off the Conant timeout, it was a 2-yard run there by DeGioia before the timeout. Conant now needing the defensive stop to give themselves more life. DeGioia is going to be stopped short of the 50. Another minimal gain and another timeout for Conant.
Gain of 5 on the play brings up 3rd and 5 for the Saxons.
So it was a gain of 3 there by DeGioia as the ball is placed at the 49-yard line. As Conant's now down to 1 timeout remaining. As we look ahead for next week, we'll be heading back to Hoffman Estates as the Hawks will be taking on the Barrington Broncos. And we'll have that for you for a 7:30 kickoff next Friday night in Hoffman Estates. Not that far away here from Conant. Rather, all the schools relatively within reasonable driving distance of one another. Mentioned the wind gust coming out of the west, blowing in the direction left to right on the field for Schaumburg's offensive purposes from their point of view. And for Conant, it's been right to left in this 4th quarter. A big chance here for Conant to make a stop. Only a field goal game with 3:31 to go. Third down and 5. Brown is going to keep it for a loss. Conant's defense stands tall.
Mari Brown taken out in the backfield by Jake Surson.
Surson with the stop on Brown. Brings up 4th and long. It was a loss
on the play
of 6.
4th and 11.
And with it being out of bounds, too, where Brown had gone out, or rather, I think it looks like Conant did call a timeout. They did. So they said Brown was still in bounds, and Conant called their final timeout. So Conant down perhaps to their final chance, assuming they get the ball back here on this 4th down. Again, can't rule out anything with Schaumburg trying to play a little trickery here with 3:25 to go, up by only a field goal. You have to imagine DeGioia would be punting this one away on 4th and 11 with the ball at the Schaumburg 43. You got Betancourt back deep for Conant to receive this, as he'll go back and stand at about his own 27-yard line. Although he's going to come up now for a moment. Now he'll back up to return. And it's a line drive punt. Takes the Saxons hop. Betancourt going to fall on top of it. A little bit of a risk doing that. As he'll take it at his own 30. And the Cougars, with yet another chance, down by 3.
Take over 1st and 10.
.319 to go. Can the perfect season stay intact? Ball's lost again. It falls backwards on the option. And right place, right time for Conant. That was Hoffman falling on top of it, and a loss there to make it 2nd and long.
On the play. Loss of 2 brings up 2nd and 12 for the Cougars.
Almost near disaster. Schaumburg wasn't set defensively, and they're going to have to call a timeout. They didn't expect Conant to run up to the line as quick as they did off the miscue. It was a loss of 2 on that play. They're off the mishandled handoff as they made it 2nd and 12 with the ball at the 27. Schaumburg not wanting to have to call that timeout there, but they had no choice as they didn't want to get fooled by Conant in that sequence. So they called the timeout. That's their first of this half, so they still have 2 remaining. Well, Conant has used up all 3 of their timeouts, and it came on that last defensive stance to give them the ball, which they have now. So 2nd and long for Conant. One receiver out to the far side. As Dugo going to step up, and he's taken down. Mike DeGioia doing it on both sides of the ball.
Backfield by Mike DeGioia.
3rd and long.
Bring up 3rd down for the Cougars.
Conant can't stop the clock. They get back to the line quickly. Schaumburg realizing they got to get back there too. 3rd and long. Dugo going to keep it. Escaped one tackler, gets short of the 35, but it brings up a do-or-die 4th down.
Keeper stopped on the play by Jeff Hermosillo.
Approaching 2 minutes to go. Might this be the last chance for Conant to try to keep the season intact with a perfect record? Frederick, it's going to actually be an option to the far side, and it is going to be enough for the 1st down. Hoffman with the clutch run towards the 40-yard line.
Hoffman on the carry.
He just got the 1st down. They needed to get to the 40.
Good enough for a Cougar.
And he just got there. So he gets out of bounds, and that does stop the clock because he went out of bounds. So 1st and 10 with 2:01 to go. What an exciting finish. Frederick trying to bounce outside, goes nowhere.
Malik Frederick on the carry, Blake Buchanan on the tackle.
Buchanan on the tackle, number 3 in white for Schaumburg.
No gain on the play, brings up 2nd and 10.
Again, no timeouts for Conant. No gain, 2nd and 10, ball still at the 40. Dugo gonna keep it and go nowhere. Maybe a yard gain,
Dugo
3rd down.
Stopped by Michael Connolly.
Under 90 seconds to go.
Gain of 1 on the play, brings up 3rd and 9.
This heavy run-based offense from Conant trying to work at a faster tempo. 1:15 on the clock. Dugo gonna roll, step up, throw for Green. It is incomplete. What a coverage incompletion by Anthony Hernandez to bring up 4th down. Hernandez played that perfectly against Green.
It'll be 4th and 9.
Clock stop, 1:03 to go. Once again, final chance Conant. They need to get to the 50 to convert and try to keep the perfect season intact. The punter in Botello now checks into the ball game as a wide receiver. 2 receivers each side. And now a timeout by Schaumburg.
Timeout called by the Saxons.
So the Saxons will use this to set up their defense. What an exciting finish for our game of the week. And a low-scoring affair in which all the points came in the first quarter. A 42-yard touchdown run by Shamari Brown got the scoring started, with the extra point being good to make it 7-0 Schaumburg. And then after a touchback, the very next play was an 80-yard touchdown run by Malik Frederick to tie us at 7. And then later on in the first quarter, a very impressive, with the swirling winds out here tonight, 43-yard field goal for the Saxons and Roberto Sanchez is the only scoring we've had for you here tonight. Malik Frederick has fumbled twice, that has killed big drives for Conant as they were almost in goal-to-go territory. Although Schaumburg not really able to capitalize on set opportunities that they've been given, but still lead on the road here, 10-7, looking to end the perfect season that's been intact the first 6 weeks for Conant. The ball game comes down to this. Dugo over the middle, incomplete, no flags. And the Saxons, with 59 seconds to go, will take over.
And the Saxons will take over. 1st and 10.
The Saxons stayed in it as long as they possibly could last week in the 5-point loss at Hoffman Estates, and they stick with it here against a tough power run offense led by Malik Frederick and the Cougars, who cannot stop the clock, and the Saxons are going to end the perfect season of the Conant Cougars here in Week 7. An all-around gritty performance in all phases by the Saxons, as victory formation lines up for junior quarterback Luke Jesse, who has been trying to help this team get off the 3-game slide, as he'll just take the knee and he'll do one more to send the Saxons home with a road win. For Conant, they've got one more home game coming up when they host the Frem Vikings next week in Week 8 action. While for Schaumburg, they will go back home next week to take on the Palatine Pirates. Conant's going to fall to 6-1 on the season and 2-1 in conference play, while the Saxons are going to move to 3-4 and 1-2 in conference play. Final need to be taken, and that is going to do it. The Saxons with the shock of the week, upsetting the Cougars on the road by the score of 10-7. What a performance. What a night for the Saxons. And the thing to remember from tonight
and that's the game with the final
might be the two fumbles by the star running back for Conant, Malik Frederick. We go back to Hoffman Estates next week when the Hawks host the Barrington Broncos in a prime Mid-Suburban League West showdown. Kickoff for that one will be at 7:30. As that'll do it for our broadcast here tonight. Once again, final score, the perfect season ends for Conant. Saxons win 10-7. For all of us here at HETV, I'm Ryan Fay signing off. We'll see you at Garber Stadium next Friday night.